YouTube, baby. So I saw a meme, but I send you a lot of Bears related stuff anyway. So I was like, I'm not gonna do this. But it was, I think you'd get a pretty good chuckle out of it, so I might have to find it. But it was remember in that I mean, I know you did. Yeah, I know you know it, but like in South Park when Randy Marsh is fighting I think it's the Bat Dad is what his name is, you know.
Yeah.
And it was like Randy's the Bears, like he's getting the shit beat out of him, and then it's like he's Green Bay, Bat Dad is. And so then it's like, I didn't hear no bell. And then because I
Dude.
take it they finally beat Green Day for the first time in like 14 years. Or Green Bay, not Green Day. They weren't going against Billy Joe.
Yeah, no, they did since 2018.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, that's a sign they're turning shit around, man.
It's like it's one of those things, man. We could lose all year, but if you beat Green Bay, it's like winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it was a
In
big deal.
Lambeau, right?
Yep. And the thing is the ball got intercepted with like a minute 20 left, and they march it down and kick a field goal and go up by two. It's like they always find a way, right? They
Yeah.
always find a way. And then I don't know, Caleb Williams just went crazy, got him down to field goal range, and Santos kicked like a 51-yard field goal to put
Damn.
him up by one. So, like there's the goal. It was like pew, just barely over
Yeah.
it. And it was fucking awesome. So I don't know how they did it. They got down the field in like 30 seconds, but they did
Yeah. Oh, so
it.
I have a football related rules question because I thought if you were kicking a field goal and you miss, then it's just a dead ball and people pick up where like if at the 51 yard line, like if he missed, then Green Bay would just get the ball at the 51 yard line.
No.
Because like I saw a clip online, it's awesome. It was from a football game, college football game, where the dude kicked, missed the field goal, and the people caught it, and they, like it was right on the end zone. They caught it, ran all the way to the other side, and won. And I think it was Auburn versus someone else. And it's awesome. Like I don't like football. I clearly don't know the rules, but even I'm like when every time I see that clip, I'm like hyped as hell because it's just so fucking cool.
Yeah. That can happen. If they kick it short and someone's back to catch it, they can just run it.
Okay.
But I just had to look it up. Um, Missed beyond the 20-yard line results in the other team taking possession at the line of scrimmage. So technically that is true some of the time. It
Okay.
just depends on where it's at on the
I
field.
gotcha. Well, I need to show you the thing Clint got me for Christmas this year too.
Oh, dude, that's sick. That's super sick.
Okay. I plan on getting some of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and I'm gonna unbox that and have the cards ready to go.
Nice. Who are you gonna duel?
Probably Hallie.
Yeah.
Yeah, send her to the Shadow Realm.
It'd be so funny if she just kicked your ass
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, no, you end up getting a text from me. It's like, hey man, I need you to come to my house, duel Hallie. She sent me to the Shadow Realm.
And I wouldn't stand a chance. I don't even know the rules anymore.
Dude, like I don't know the rules for the some of the newer stuff because like you see stuff of that and it's just like, yeah, so this is I just went my turn, now it's your turn. And then they're like, well, cool. Here's this card that special lets me special summon this, and then that lets me special summon this, and then this lets me special summon, and then now they can all attack at once and they have a greater, they have a greater attack than, 12,000. Your life points are at 8,000, so you've lost. You're like, this is the first round.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to summon Dark Magician yet.
That sounds awful. It's like I don't know. I don't think Pokemon is like quite that bad, but I don't know that I would want to try any of those new cards either. It's like, I'll just stick to the original game, I think.
Yeah, and with Pokemon too, they somehow came up like where like Yu-Gi-Oh! It still seems like it's just a playing like no, I don't know if anyone really collects it just to look at them, but like
Yeah.
Pokemon got like they got smart about it where they're like, yeah, well, there's this Yu-Gi-Oh! Shit over here. We'll just make it so that people just want to collect them to look at them, and
Hmm.
it seems like that's working for them.
Yeah. But then I guess, like, I know with Magic, there's whatever commander or some shit where you can play any card that's ever been made. Otherwise,
Oh.
there's like a bunch of cards that you can't play with anymore because they're against the rules.
That
So,
shit annoys me because like Yu-Gi-Oh! With Yu-Gi-Oh! You can't even play Monster Reborn in like tournament settings.
but can you play Pot of Greed?
Actually, well, technically, no, it's on the banned list also. It's like
Wow.
why are they like nothing should be on the banned list because they were made for this fucking card game.
I don't disagree.
Like it's so stupid. It's like the only thing that should be on the ban list are the cards that I make myself.
Well, it's like, okay, Pot of Greed is OP, whatever. Just make a card that can counter it,
Well, I mean, all it is just draw two cards.
right?
It's not like, I mean, I don't know. It's like Exodia, yeah, that's OP, but it's also like hard to get all five pieces. And it's if you built like I built a deck around getting all the pieces, and it fucking sucks. Because
Hmm.
guess what? If someone has card destruction, you're boned or anything that just takes a card out of your deck. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's
Same,
stupid.
I mean, same with Pokemon. It's like if you're banking on getting your Squirtle to Blastoise or something,
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, there's a lot of cards you can draw between them, though. You might not make it before that
Right.
happens. So it's all just a gamble. But anyway, all right, shall we do our episode?
Is there any good football games on tonight?
I don't know if there are any because
Oh.
this was like the last week before playoffs.
Oh, okay. I
Let me
didn't
see though.
didn't know that.
Yeah, nothing till Saturday.
I got you.
The um like for the Broncos to make it to the wild card, they had to beat the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs had no starters in. So the Broncos won 38-0.
Damn.
And then the game of the week was, except for the Bears beating the Packers, was last night. That was Vikings and Lions. Both teams were 14-2, but the Lions beat them 31-9.
Damn.
They were fighting for the one seed, and then the loser got the fifth seed. So I don't really know what all happens there.
Oh, is that just because of like the conference shit?
Maybe, really, I don't know.
Because I know that that's how like NBA used to be like that. Like back like because I know there was a time where Popovich got in a lot of trouble because they the Spurs were going to play against Miami, but it was a back to back, and then they were going to go against like a division rival with the Memphis Grizzlies. So they just rested Ginobili, Kawhi, Parker, and Duncan, and then he ended up getting fined like $100,000 because it was like a high marquee game,
Right.
and then, but it's like, well, it worked because they ended up beating Grizzlies by 20.
Yeah. I mean, I see both sides, right? If you're a fan, you're paying to go see those guys, right?
Hmm.
But I don't know. It is what it is.
But like, also as a Spurs fan, you hear like especially that era of the Spurs, you'd always hear like there's no one on that team that's marketable or famous or blah blah blah. And then they're like, how dare they arrest these guys that I don't care about?
Right. You can't win either
Yeah,
way, you know?
yeah.
We can do like a rapid fire wild card round because there's 6 games.
All right.
Okay, so we got Chargers, Texans.
Texans.
I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Broncos and Bills.
Broncos.
Bills all day.
We need to write these down so we can see who's right. The guy that knows nothing about football or the one that's been watching it for forever.
Okay, I'll write it down real quick. Chargers, Texans. Casey chose that. I chose that. Broncos and Bills. Casey, Jake. We've got the Commanders and the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
I'm also going Buccaneers just
Hell
because
yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
Did you know? I heard about this online that they were having a thing at the Buccaneer at the at their facility where you could go there and get your ears pierced. You know how much they charge?
How much?
A Buccaneer.
I knew it was coming. I was still disappointed.
I mean, dude, you sound like Brady.
All right, Steelers, Ravens.
I'm gonna go Ravens. I saw some stats from I think their QB or like one of their guys, and he's like having this insane season where it's like he won the MVP one year, and then it's like his stats this year are better. And
I mean,
you
it could be a couple guys.
really,
Their quarterback's Lamar Jackson, who was up for
him.
MVP. Okay. And their running back, whose name I'm blanking on right now, is also insane. So I'm also picking Ravens there. Packers, Eagles.
I'm gonna go Packs,
I'm going Eagles because fuck the Packers. And then Vikings, Rams.
Vikings.
Same. They're just too good.
Yeah,
They shit the bed yesterday, but that's okay.
shit the bed against one of the best teams in the league. You know, it
Right.
happens. All
Okay. Let's do our episode.
right, man.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds Podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Deadpool to my terror. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
Nothing. Did a lot of snow shoveling this afternoon, and excited to talk about you know, our awards and our
Yeah.
2024 wrap up. So, real quick, um, we had a comment. This was from a couple episodes ago, but it was from Mr. Gerblaw, and this is about the action figures. He says, "My Fantastic Four includes the second Ray Stantz figure. When I was a kid, he had the goggles, which were the coolest thing to me for some reason, and I broke his arm off somehow. Then, when I was older, I found the same figure in box, and I still have it now. Is that a wrestler? I don't know who Ray Stantz is.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, I didn't know what his last name was.
Yeah.
Two, the goggles from Ghostbusters. I got them for Christmas one year, and they're still awesome. I'm sensing a theme here. Number three, a proton pack.
Yeah, it's like I think between me and him both are we're like a little acoustic. It's like, oh, Godzilla for me, and him, it's Ghostbusters.
That's all right. He says the proton pack is lightweight. It looks awesome and it lights up. And then number four, Casey got me some figures that were horror movie characters, but made as if they were He-Man figures. And they're some of the coolest things I own. And he says, also, can I request next year you guys do one with Mr. Freeze in it so Casey can do his Arnold impression?
I mean, you'd have to call Kyle because his is by far superior.
Yeah, hey, your words, not mine.
Actually,
It's
it was your words.
true. All right. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it.
Man,
Um,
he has some really cool figures, but he's the exact opposite of me too, where like his are all still in box for the most part. I think he's got some stuff that he's taken out, but like we've talked about it a lot where I'm like, how do you do that? Because I gotta have them out and looking at them.
I do for most things, but I don't really do figures so much as like statues. And it's like, yeah, I want my Fire Emblem statues
Yeah.
out because they're cool. Or
Yeah,
I've
I
got
mean,
two shelves of Witcher statues right here. So
yeah, I don't know like why with like a statue especially how anyone would want to leave that in box. I
yeah.
get saving the box because like
Yeah, which I do.
yeah, I do too. And because it's like if you ever have to move them,
Hmm.
that makes it so much better.
Yeah, I'd be terrified just to chuck them in the car and
Yeah.
drive them. Um, okay, so real quick, I want to mention we'll be double posting this week because we're also going to post our crossover episode with the testing room that we recorded last week. That's why we didn't have a regular episode. And so we played Deadpool role plays the Marvel Universe with those guys. That's just a Marvel tabletop RPG. It was very fun. We had a good time.
Hmm.
And Preston was kind enough to edit the whole thing so that we didn't have to do shit and even made a little thumbnail for it. So thank you again, Preston, for doing literally all the work. And that'll probably be up by the time you're hearing this, because I imagine I'll probably do it later today. So yeah, look forward to that if that is your thing. Also, I promised Christian that I would give a little history lesson on the character Terror. So I'm going to do that right now. So Terror's real name is Shrek, and that's Schreck. So a little different from the regular green Shrek that you're thinking of. Um, but he was actually created in this series called Saint George #2, and that was from Marvel. Do you remember Marvel's Epic line?
Hmm.
So that was part of their like Shadow line saga. And Shrek was in a world without superheroes. So despite his terrifying appearance, he resembled like supernatural detectives, trench coat, hat, all that good stuff. He was just,
Now, didn't he not become like the terror that, like he wasn't like terror yet, so he wouldn't have had like the bony face early on, like that was later, right? Or am I wrong on that?
well, I don't think he was like just a guy, at least from what I could find, but
Hmm.
he wasn't like we saw him in that in our
Yeah.
crossover episode, but he was also different looking, I think. Um, so yes, anyway, apparently Marvel asked um the creator of that Shadowline saga to use Shrek because they wanted to use him to reintroduce horror characters from the 70s. But that didn't pan out. So later on, uh, Terror made his Marvel debut in Daredevil #305, which led into a spinoff um, of Terror kind of going around the Marvel universe as like a private investigator. That run got canceled 2 issues before like they had planned. And then he came back in like a Marvel team up arc later. And then a couple years after that, he got a Marvel Max miniseries. Max was Marvel's like, we can say naughty words and show some sexual conduct and stuff like that. So he got one of those, which according to the internet's not that bad. It kind of makes me want to like track those down and give them a
Hmm.
read sometime.
Well, because that's one of the things too. It's like hearing about his powers in that, because I was reading about that too. It was like, wow, this is a lot cooler than what I thought it was gonna be like, because I guess he can like he takes off his head in that series. This is the only series where he does it,
Hmm.
but he could take off his head, put it on someone else's body, and be like, "Well, I'm healed."
Yeah. And also I have all your powers.
Yeah, like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Um, and then the most recent thing, Tara showed up as a member of Deadpool's Mercs for Money, which was a, I want to say like a 12 issue series that came out in like 2016 or 2017. Like I remember that early on in my days of owning the shop, but I never read it and never knew who
Yeah,
Tara was at that time. Um, so yeah. Anyway, that's kind of his thing. And then I'll talk about his powers and stuff, but he has memory and power absorption. So he gains memories and skills and superpowers from any body part that he assimilates. Um, and it doesn't even have to be human. So he can add like wings or a tail to his body if he wanted to. And as Casey just said, he even replaced his head on another person to gain their knowledge and memories. And then he's got the cheek spikes. They're part of the curse from a demon that he slayed. So if he breaks them off, they always grow back. He is immortal. His body is dead, so he doesn't have to like eat, sleep, or breathe. He also doesn't feel pain. He can even continue to function if he's reduced to a skeletal state or is just a head. And then apparently, this is spoilers for his Max series. He was dismembered and dunked in acid, but survived that as a black ooze that was able to inhabit other bodies. And then, since he's been alive for centuries, he's acquired all sorts of skills and knowledge. He's a great marksman and detective, and he's also proficient with most conventional weapons. So,
can't wait for the Disney Plus series to come out.
dude, well, it makes me wish there was like a current mini series, like
Hmm.
just a gritty detective story featuring Terry. He sounds
Right,
awesome.
he
So,
really does. Like, so I never read anything with him. But like after I saw his picture, like when you sent me the character sheet, I recognized his look. I had an old Marvel trading card of
mm-hmm.
him. Like he was, I think, in the Ghost Rider section, but I always assumed he was a bad guy because look at him.
Yep. And I have definitely seen his comic book Terror Inc. in
Yeah.
many a dollar bin. And actually,
I'm
when I go into work tomorrow, I'm going to search my own to see if I can find some of these issues.
since I know you've organized it all, is your dollar bins now where you can just go on your computer and type it in, be like, oh, cool, I have issues 1 through 8 in the dollar bin. I can go
I, d-
through, or did you not do that much?
I didn't do that for my dollar books, but
Okay.
they are alphabetized, so I could just go to
That's gonna be
T
a
and
way.
see if I
Yeah.
got it. So yeah, there you go, Christian. I hope that was everything you wanted it to be.
He's gonna end up messaging you and being like, "Can you get me those Terror Inc. books from your dollar bin?"
Right. All right. So now we can get into the news. Some of this was from last week, so I'm sure a lot of you have heard some of this already, but we're going to say it anyway in case you've got more than me. So go ahead.
All right, so this is probably the thing that will everyone will be least excited about, but Christopher Nolan's next movie is going to be an adaptation of The Odyssey. So betting it's going to be 3 hours long, and it'll probably be fine. It won't be as good as the only other adaptation of The Odyssey that I've seen, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? But that's like a great fucking movie, so it's gonna be hard. It'd be hard to top that, but yeah, I bet it will be cool. Would you see it?
Yeah. I don't know if I'd go sit in theaters for it, but definitely we'll see it eventually.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
like his movies.
I figured you'd be more apt to see it in theaters than me because you like his movies and you also love fantasy movies.
I do. It's just, I
Not the
don't
right
know.
fantasy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I up until this month, of course, I just haven't gone out to the theaters as much as I
Hmm.
used to. So
Yeah. Oh, did you see the new Sonic, by the way? Have you seen that yet or
not
no?
yet. I haven't had
Okay.
time yet.
Okay.
I've avoided all spoilers though.
I haven't, but I also haven't seen one or two. So, I just was like, oh, that's neat. I think it's kind of like jumping the shark that they killed Sonic, but whatever. But yeah, Creature Commandos has been renewed for a second season. Really not surprised there. Have you watched any of that yet? Because I don't have Max anymore, so I haven't got to see it yet.
No, but like literally all my customers like it. They say it's
Yeah,
funny and genuinely good, so that's
well,
cool.
that's good. And then I'll do my last bit of last week news, and then I'll let you kind of take over. But Batman Brave and the Bold. So this was like kind of like a roller coaster of news. Um, Batman Brave and the Bold has been postponed, maybe because Andy Muschietti, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take a break from messing with stuff with the Batman stuff. Like I'm paraphrasing. He's like, because I had this idea for a sci-fi movie I want to do, and I'm writing that now. So like, yeah, it'll be a little bit before this comes out. And then James Gunn goes on to Twitter. He's like, someone asked him about it, and he's like, it's not delayed. So it's just like he's probably like splitting hairs with it being delayed versus not because they haven't really announced anything, so it can't really get delayed. But at the same time, it's
Hmm.
like it's not coming out when they think it's going to, when they said because Andy's doing this other thing, But
Well,
yeah,
maybe that's Gunn saying, well, if he's not gonna do it, I'm gonna find someone else that will.
I mean, I doubt that. I think it's probably just going to be like because there is something going on, and this is kind of leads into one of your things. There's probably something going on Warner Brothers like deal wise with Matt Reeves and his Batman universe. So they probably don't want to have stuff like commingle that way. So I bet it's like Gunn's probably not too fucking worried about it until at least the third Matt Reeves Batman movie comes out, and they can be done with
Mhm.
that. Then it's going to be a different story. That's just a guess, though.
Well, hey, speaking of that, the Batman sequel has been delayed once again and is now set for October 1st, 2027, because they don't have a script. And it's
Yeah.
like, guys, it's been way too long.
In all fairness, Matt Reeves did say he had personal issues that kept him from making the new script. So, whatever that entails, it's dealing with that type of shit. It's whatever.
Okay, that may be. It's still been 2 years
Hmm.
since the release,
Yeah.
and will have been 5 years by the time that's actually supposed to come out, assuming it doesn't get delayed again.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't know. I'm not going to discredit how hard anyone works or anything like that, but it's like I could have got a fucking script out by now, you
The
know?
the thing is, I don't know how much he did with Penguin, but he also made the Penguin show, which is like fucking, I'm not saying it's bad or good, but like why? And and so then, has to then make, do the script for this. It's just kind of like, yeah, he should have just not done the Penguin show.
It's also annoying because other things that play into the delay of this movie is like Pattinson's he has a life too, and he's like,
Hmm.
well, I'm gonna do other movies. So
Yeah,
then they just have to wait till he's done with those commitments too. It's like, can we just get some consistent Batman shit, please?
right. But I mean, hopefully this new one's gonna be good because like between that wait and, in my opinion, the underwhelmingness of the first one, it it needs to be good. All right, so we got some. I'll yeah, I'll go with that. We got some casting rumors coming up, which is pretty, interesting. Josh Brolin is in talks to play. Like, even though this didn't work out with um Green Lantern, they're still like he's still in talks with DC to do movie. And now the new rumor is Deathstroke. So
I
he,
don't really like that. It's like you guys already had one and he was good for it, you know?
hmm
And
Yep.
I think you felt the same way about Magniello, so I don't know.
He's like the only problem I have with Brolin as Deathstroke is I want to say he's like 5'9".
He's
And
also old. I'm
Deathstroke
sorry. I
Deathstroke's
know.
old.
I know, but
So
he
I don't
doesn't
have
look
a
it.
I
He doesn't look it.
no, but I mean like I think the age thing is fine, but it's just like, man, he's gonna need some lifts because he is not tall enough to be Deathstroke. Deathstroke should be Manganiello's height. So,
Hmm.
but I think that type of that caliber of actor is a good choice for that though, because it's like if you want to have him in Titans, you get a bunch of unknown like teenage kids type thing. And when I say teenage, they're probably gonna be in their 20s. Kids,
30s.
yeah, to be the Titans, and then Brolin can kind of take lead on that, but he's also going to be in the Bane and Deathstroke movie. Like that would be that's where it's gonna get the start. But he'll the rumor is he'll be in Titans, and I think the Amanda Waller thing that's coming out too is Deathstroke will be involved in that too.
Cool. The Amanda Waller thing.
Yeah.
Um, all right, I'll do my last bit of news, which is still DCU casting news. But Jason Momoa has been cast as Lobo for the Supergirl movie. Um, like I think that's a fine casting, and I think he'll do a good job. It's just like he was Aquaman, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I think that's perfect casting. That's what he should have been cast the first time. Like I thought he was a fun Aquaman, but this is what he should have been.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not complaining. It's just I don't know. It's Evans as two characters. It's like
hmm
okay, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like minorly irksome is all.
Yeah. And with when it came to Lobo too, the director of Deadpool 2 was like, I want to make a Lobo movie. He was just talking about that on the internet, so it's like, well, make a script, dude. I'm sure you have the pull to be able to get the script to James Gunn, and James Gunn said, I'm not gonna just say anything's gonna happen until we see a script. So
Mhm.
don't just be like, oh, I really hope he responds to me online. It's like, no, just get to writing.
Yeah, send it to his people.
Yeah. I'm sure you have the ability. It's like, no, actually they've blocked me on Twitter, so I can't. It's like, oh,
And
okay.
Deadpool 2 was good, so
Yeah.
like go for it.
Yeah. And that's, the right tone. Don't try to make it New 52 Lobo.
Yeah. You mean Phobo, as they
Oh,
called him?
that was some rough times.
Hmm.
That's going to be a future Fantastic Four, by the way, is the some of the dumbest things that happen in New 52.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah. Okay, and then lastly, Marvel is apparently planning on bringing back the Punisher and continue where it left off in the Netflix show and his role in Daredevil Born Again. Marvel's planning a new wave of like Marvel Knights mature limited series on Disney Plus. So
Cool.
yeah, I think that's gonna be really neat if Disney Plus handles it well. 'Cause
Well,
that's
Born Again will tell us.
yeah, right.
I want that though. Like I love the Marvel Knights stuff, so
hmm
that would get me excited.
If they're doing it as Marvel Knights, like, because like a lot of those anyway weren't in continuity, so I wonder if they could then like make that as an argument, being like, well, these aren't really in the main MCU continuity, so we were gonna have a more lighthearted Charlie Cox in the Spider-Man movie or whatever.
Do you think that the MCU is capable of that though, or are they too ingrained of like everything has to connect?
I mean, they do like having everything connect, but at the same time, now they're like everything's multiverse. It doesn't matter. And they're
Hmm.
really leaning into that. So it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, that's fair.
But let us know down below, guys. Do you think Josh Brolin would be a good Deathstroke? Do you think a Marvel Knights unconnected to the MCU thing would work, or do you want to connect to the MCU and Momoa as Lobo? Are you like hell yeah? Or are you like no, Aquaman only, please?
Speaking of him, I watch a lot of football on Sundays, and I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a Monopoly commercial with him in it. And
I
they
don't think
play
I
that
have.
Monopoly commercial all the fucking time. It's got Jason Momoa, Chris Pratt, and I think her name is Kiki Palmer, if that's who I think
Ooh,
Kiki Palmer is.
okay, man, I got such a crush on Kiki Palmer.
Well, I hope I'm not making that up, but it's like, damn, how much is Monopoly paying for those three people, you know?
Actually, they all landed on the boardwalk and were in terrible debt, and so this is how they're paying it back.
Is that her? Yeah, I think it is. So anyway. Okay. So now you did you read this week's stuff?
I did.
Okay, cool.
Or
What
I
did you
think
read?
like so I think it was this week's stuff. Because like honestly, between your diamond messing me up and like I'm like everything kind of gets blurred together. So I'm like, I think it's this week or it might have been last week's, but it's whatever came in and I gotta read. So Ultraman X Avengers, Metamorpho, the Element Man #1, Batman the Long Halloween, The Last Halloween 4 of 10, Hell Hunters #1, Justice League Unlimited #2, X-Men 9, Superman All In 21. What about you?
That is not this week's stuff.
Okay, so my stuff hasn't come in yet then.
Okay. I read Saga, Daredevil, Batgirl, Birds of Prey, Batman Full Moon, JSA, and Batman. So like
Nice.
all of the shit that you read except for
Yeah.
like one book. Let's be brief then, because we've
Yeah.
got our awards and we didn't read the same shit. So
Yeah. All right. So Ultraman X Avengers issue 3 by Kyle Higgins, Matt Groom with Francisco Mana's art. Yeah, I mean it's fun. You get Ultraman, you got Ultra 7, you get the Avengers doing stuff. It's like the only way it could be better is if it was like a better Avengers team. Like, oh yeah, cool. Captain Marvel, Captain America, and Wasp teaming up. It's like, nah, and like the Spider-Man, like, no, we want Hulk and Thor in this too, you know? Like that'd be way better than Wasp
right,
and the Spider-Man. It's like I get having the Spider-Man in because it's like if anything's gonna help this book sell, it's that, but I don't think it's gonna help that much. But yeah, it ends with Galactus getting blasted by some of the Ultraman energy, and he's like, "This energy tastes fucking good. I need to find where I can get some more of that." And so then he's gonna go find that. It's like I said, it's fun, it's fine. I will say 7, which is like pretty standard for that, you know.
yeah, for sure. Okay. Birds of Prey 17. It's by Kelly Thompson and Sammy Basri. I really like the variant cover that I got.
hmm
Very nice. But it's the conclusion of the Cassandra Cain inside of this facility where they're capturing, uh, you know, Amazon ladies and making them mindless super soldier beefcake mommies. And yeah, it was pretty cool. They're whatever comes next is going to be a new team, except for I think Canary, Barda, Sin, and Cassandra. So, and I guess Barbara's just kind of in the background as Oracle, but it's good stuff. I like it. A really strong 8, I think.
Right on. So Metamorpho, the Element Man #1. Did you read this?
I did not.
Okay. So it's by Al Ewing and Steve Lieber on the art. It's interesting. We get this new villain. I'm assuming he's new, and because I've never seen him before, and he's trying to steal some stuff, and then Metamorpho does some cool stuff. They fight, and yeah, we also get Urena Blackwell, aka the Element Gal, which I don't know if she existed before this, but I had never seen her before. And yeah, they fight, then they team up to fight the guy again, and he outsmarts them, and it's like, oh yeah, someone's trying to kill Metamorpho, and so then that's what's what this all revolves around. I mean, this has to be a mini series, right? Like, there's no
Hmm.
way that. Okay, I was gonna say like, there's no way this could be like a regular full series. Um, yeah, it's all right. Like, I'm gonna keep reading it. I think Metamorpho's cool. I'll see where it goes. 7 out of 10.
All right. Batman Full Moon, #3 by Rodney Barnes and Stevan Subic. As always, I like the art. Um, it's very cool. We finally get to see Man Bat fight, Werewolf Batman and the other werewolf, which is cool. Um, this one's pretty Constantine heavy, and he is just such a dick. So it's kind of like, okay, you're writing him well, but also I'm tired of him right now. But I like Zatanna and I like Bruce and Alfred. And, this time they all, or at the end, they all head towards Romania to the source of the Lycan curse. And we'll see what happens. But it's really cool. I like this book a lot. The art is spectacular. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Nice, man. So, Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, issue 4 of 10. This is by Cliff Chang, or it's Jeff Loeb with Cliff Chang on the art. And I love Cliff Chang, but his art just, it's just Cliff Chang's art. Like, I would prefer if they were trying to make it look like Tim Sale's, but this, it just kind of like, and with it being early on Robin with early on Batman, it's like, I feel like I read this just last week in the Mark Waid book, you know? Though this is better than the Mark Waid book. But and that one's not even bad. It's just better. So yeah, that's like my only real complaint is like it doesn't have that long Halloween feel because of the art. Just like how last week's, or not last week's, but last issue didn't. When the first two were like, ah, this is perfect, and then now it's like, oh, this doesn't feel right. But the next issue, I think we're getting Sinkowitz, which I think it's going to go back to the Tim Sale style. I really do. So I'm gonna go. I'm leaning towards an 8 because it's a good story, and I'm here for the story. So yeah.
Okay.
Did you read that or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
Did
I
you like
like.
it too
Mhm.
or okay?
Yep, I do. Okay. JSA #3 by Jeff Lemire. And I need to look up how to pronounce his name, but Diego Olortegui. And it's pretty good. It's pretty hawk heavy, which is fine. It's just I'm probably gonna complain about it every issue and you're all gonna get sick of it, but it's the wrong hawk lady.
Yeah.
And there comes a point where he he is like captured by these demons and Wotan is behind it and he's like, tell me, how many times have you doomed the person you love? What of this, that girl in the tower, this new hot girl? Will you even feel anything when she inevitably dies in your arms? And he's like, I'm gonna beat that smile off your face, like he really cares. And it's like, you don't. You don't care about this one. You care about the other one. And later, Hawkgirl's talking to Alan, and she's like, I see Carter as a big brother. He found Shaira in this life. She's alive. The cycle's broken. But I still feel like pulled towards him. And it's like, okay, that's fine that you admit that, but also this would have way more emotional pull if this were just Shaira.
Hmm.
I don't get why Hawkgirl's in this.
It might be something that comes up later on too that Jeff is planning.
Maybe we'll see. Uh, but I think this book would be near perfect if that were changed, dude. Like that
Hmm.
really, really bugs me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm gonna give it like an 8.5. There's a lot of good stuff in it that I'm not gonna talk about because Casey hasn't read it yet. But uh, yeah, it's solid. It's really tough for me to get past the Hawk stuff. So.
All right. So Hell Hunters by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Adam Gorham on the art. Um, Book's awesome. Kind of like exactly what you expect from a book by Philip Kennedy Johnson taking place in World War II, where we get Ghost Rider and then other characters throughout. It's just really fucking cool. I'm into it. I'm excited for more. I'm gonna go 9.5, and this is my pick of the week.
Nice.
I'm assuming you love that one too, because it's kind of like right up your alley.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, Batman 156 by Chip Zdarsky and Tony Daniel. So I don't think I need to say it. The art is fucking awesome in this book. Um, it's kind of a Batman versus Riddler, which, is pretty cool. Um, and then at the end, we find out who this Citizen Star is finally. And I didn't expect it. So it was a
Okay.
pretty cool reveal. And yeah, I like it. It's nice to enjoy Batman again. So I'm gonna give it probably an 8.5.
Nice. All right. Justice League Unlimited issue 2 by Mark Waid and Dan Mora on the art. Yeah, I mean we get some parademons fighting and Dr. Occult like that. Those are the two big things. This book is trying to do a little too much because then there's like that Atom stuff that's going on where they're talking, because they're trying to build up for that other series and then Martian Manhunter's dealing with some stuff and all that and then there's the bat like the oh yeah, here Challengers of the Unknown, like that stuff in the back, which it's like that book came out the week before. We don't need, a preview of that. Just give us a backup that's actually good.
Hmm.
Which I think that honestly the Challengers book could have just been a backup for the Justice League book, if we're being honest. But yeah, it's
Would you have read
just
it though?
yeah. Because I mean I like the Challengers and then like you put the same creative team on there, of course, be interesting. But yeah, this is good. It's just doing too much, in my opinion. But yeah, it's probably an 8 for me.
Okay. Batgirl number 3. It's by Tate Bromball and oh, the art is done by Takeshi Miyazawa. It's pretty good. The one thing that bugs me about this series is like this is the third issue, and just like the two before it, half of the issue is just my mom fucking sucks and I don't trust her. We
Hmm.
get it at this point. This is a mini series and we're halfway through. I'm tired of reading about that. Let's just get to the
Hmm.
fucking story. So anyway, whenever story, finally starts to happen, it's pretty neat. The art's really good. The action scenes are fluid and drawn well, and I like what is shown at the end. Just wish we got there a little bit quicker. So, 7 out of 10.
All right, on man. So X-Men issue 9 by Jed McKay, uh, Federico Vincenti, and JP Mayer on the art. Um, I like this. It was good. I hadn't read Uncanny X-Men that takes place before this. So like I was a little lost, but it's cool. I don't like the one thing that kind of annoyed me is there's a part when this psychic person is like, you know, going like he does some stuff and it messes with everybody, including Juggernaut. It's like unless Juggernaut got a new helmet that doesn't, that it doesn't have the side, the proofing of that, it's like why is he having this much issue?
Mm.
He's the fucking Juggernaut. Come on. That's one of his things is that the psychic stuff doesn't work when he's got his helmet on. So like Jed McKay should know better. But maybe and also maybe he does. Maybe there's something that popped up in one of the X books that I didn't read where he was hanging out on the island for some reason, even though he's not a mutant. And they're like, your new helmet, I can read your mind still. He's like, oh shoot, you're right. Maybe that happened. I don't know. So I'm gonna go 7.5. It's solid.
All right, Saga 71 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. It's really, really good. And the cliffhanger has me very interested for the next issue, and that's all I'm going to say. It's at 9 out of 10.
Right on. So Superman All In 21 by Josh Williamson, Dan Mora on the art. Impressive that Dan Mora was able to get two books out this month. It's like, when does he sleep with them looking this good? But
Mhm.
Superman goes on a date with Superwoman, and yeah, it's a good issue. The only thing that sucked was like there was some stuff I was like, I got so excited for you because I know you like this character. Amethyst shows up, and I'm like, oh, Jake's gonna be happy about this. And then it's just like, nah, nothing cool really happened.
Yeah.
We got some political trading done for
Mm.
her
Yep.
kingdom. It's like, boy, that was a letdown.
It sure was.
But then
But
we
she
see
looked
the
good, at least.
Yeah, she looks awesome. But I was just like, man, that's pretty lame, Joshua. But we get these new guys that are trying to kill Doomsday, and that's how it ends. It's cool. Yeah, I'm probably at an 8.5 for it. I liked it. Probably the coolest art too. I'll show this too for those that haven't read this book that's, been out for a little bit. But there was a part where Lois is talking about Superman, and so Dan Mora did the older
Yeah,
style. Looks awesome.
it does. All right, final book for me is
All right.
Daredevil number 17. It's by Saladin Ahmed and Aaron Cooter on the art. It's pretty fucking great. Um, Daredevil has a showdown with Wrath. We get some She-Hulk. We finally get some Foggy, and all of it's starting to really come to a head. So I like this book a lot this week. It's probably a 9.5, and it's my pick of the week.
Nice. All right, man. You ready for the awards ceremony?
I sure am.
All right, what order do you want to do these in? Do you want to finish with the best writer? We start with the good, the bad, the okay, and then just kind of work backwards, or do you just want to start how?
So I've got it as our personal top tens of the year. Um, the five cover artists. Um,
I didn't see those on the thing, so I'm gonna be a little bit different because when I text you, I didn't see that on the text. My bad, man.
no, it's okay. Maybe I didn't include it, but I thought I
Oh
did.
no, you did. So like what I just saw for some reason my brain like focused on the best artist and writer and I just overlooked that. So that was my bad.
Well, that's fine. I can just list mine.
Yeah, and I probably
Um,
have a lot of the same ones.
right. Um, well, I'll just say what we're doing as we go.
Hmm.
I'll just take the lead and then
All
you can
right.
tell me yours. So, all right. So we're going to start with our personal top 10 of 2024 list. This is a book. Just as long as it was in print during 2024, it can make the list. So Casey, I don't know, should we do 10, 10, 9, 9 up to number one, or what do you, how do you, or did you just list 10 of your
Just
favorites?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm weird and I have a lot of trouble being like, this is for sure my number one, where it's like, yeah, when it gets to about like the top five or, even 8, it's gonna be pretty murky water. So we'll.
Okay. Well, I definitely have a favorite, so just you
Okay.
can just list yours and then I'll list mine and say which one was my favorite.
All right. So, Ghost Rider would be on mine. Both Wolverines that came out this year. Daredevil, Saga, Superman. Um, Trying to think of some more books that came out. Ooh, I think it came out this year. I think it was Unchained or the Avengers Pets book that came out.
Oh, okay, sure.
I fucking love that book. And then the Kong book that came out that finished up this year. The oh, what was the Godzilla book that came out this year? That was Godzilla Skate or Die,
Okay.
and Superman was is really good. And trying to think what's another book that I really liked that came out this year?
I mean, we read a lot.
Long Halloween. I'm enjoying that a lot, so I'll toss that in as one of my favorites.
All right. For me, I'm gonna go with Saga because that was good to be back. Dark Knights of Steel All Winter, Absolute Wonder Woman, I thought was a very strong start. X-Men, I'll group X-Men and Uncanny together just
Mm.
because this is the first time in a while I've read an X-Men book and I've been enjoying it. Wolverine also made my list. The Saladin Ahmed one. Daredevil, Sacrificers, Public Domain,
Ooh, I forgot about Public Domain.
Dawn Runner, and then my favorite of the year was Plastic Man No More.
Yeah, that one's also should have been on my list too.
All right, and then I will list my top five favorite cover artists of the year. One of these, or two of these, was on last year's list, but they're just so good. So,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Jenny Friesen, Nathan Zerdy, Rose Besh, Selena. She just goes by Selena. And then my favorite, because I think they just put out more bangers than usual, was David Nakayama. Um, and then, okay, Breakout Creator.
Okay.
I thought for sure we would have the same answer for this, so I'm curious if we actually do.
So I have like multiples. So Louis Joyce, because I forgot about Godzilla Skater Die until I came up here, but um for Godzilla Skater Die, never read anything that he'd done before, but he did both the art and the story on it. Super good. Then Alex Cox from King Kong Great War. Never read anything by him before, and I absolutely love that. Christopher Cantwell, who did the Plastic Man book that we both really like. But the person I had at number one is Saladin Ahmed. I hadn't read anything of his, and then he just fucking like gets Daredevil after a legendary run, and then Wolverine after a really great run, and he's taken those books in new directions and has made it just so awesome. So he gets my vote for breakout creator.
Okay. And I just listed one. It was Christopher Cantwell.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
Did Plastic Man No More, and also we've had one issue of Challengers, which I greatly enjoyed. So, I mean, if he's done anything before, I hadn't read it, but these are extremely strong starts.
When so one time I was trying to find his Twitter, but I think he's off of Twitter because he doesn't care much for Musk. But he when I was Googling around on him, I guess he's in um Sleepwalk with Me. Like very small role, but I'm assuming he must have done stand up with Biggs at some point.
Hmm,
Because
that's
it's
cool.
like, yeah, because he's like this really small role. And whenever I saw the name, I'm like, I think I know exactly who he is though, because I've seen the movie so many times. And he's just this guy that's like tells Biggs' girlfriend that he's like, oh, that was a really great time this time. And then she goes, it wasn't a great time this time. And that's like his whole role. But yeah, no, I
Um,
mean, I love that book, but I think, Silent Ahmed had two bangers versus
yeah,
just the one because technically Challengers didn't come out until after the first year, right?
no,
Or
no,
was it right at the
I
end?
think it was the last week of
I
December.
gotcha. Okay. Well,
I mean,
never mind
I
then.
think Saladin Ahmed is totally
Yeah.
viable. The only reason I put Cantwell above is because Saladin Ahmed I
Has
know for sure has been around and done
yeah.
great things, where Cantwell, if he has, I don't know about it.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's fair.
okay. The Tom King Award. Casey and I came up with this award for just the worst or dumbest thing to have happened in the comic book industry during the year.
Yeah, it's just to commemorate Tom King attacking an Asian creator on Twitter because he assumed something that wasn't the case. And then that creator was also dealing with some stuff at the time that he didn't need to deal with the extra stuff.
Hmm.
And then Tom King kept acting like an idiot over it. And he was like, "Oh, we're good." They weren't good. And
Yep.
so, yeah, it was a whole thing.
So I only had one thing that I think is a unanimous winner, and that is Diamond Comics being just
I
the
have them on
worst
there too.
company uh, to not just my shop, but I mean, this happened to anybody that received comics from them out of that warehouse, which is a good chunk of the country. So,
Yep.
uh, and here we are, 5 weeks, still the same old bullshit. Who knows what this week will bring us?
Yeah.
So it's for that reason that they get my vote.
Yep. I have them on my list. I also have like Sony Spider-Verse ending and then also just bad comic book movie adaptations in general. Like we got Joker 2 this year, Craven, the that fucking Madam Web movie, and then now that they're ending, we'll never get our Aunt May spin-off series, which sucks. But
Hmm.
then my last one, and I think we'll get a laugh at this because we laughed at it when it came out. It was Mark Waid in typical Mark Waid fashion saying, if he writes bad comics, it's Trump's fault.
Yep.
Like I
Yep.
love Mark Waid. I genuinely do, but like he also has a tendency to throw little temper tantrums and you hear stories about it, you're like, you're a whole grown ass adult, bud. Come on. You're better than this.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's funny. But yeah, I'm going with the one that hurt
Yeah.
multiple small businesses.
Oh yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. What's going to be fun too is I'm going to email them and say, "Hey guys, you do get a personal pan pizza because you won the Tom King Award for being so shitty." And then when they go, "Cool, here's our address." Be like, "Okay, it'll be 1 to 38 business weeks."
Just send him a moldy ass pizza, not the coupon for the pizza,
No,
the
no.
actual pizza.
I'm just gonna send them a fully cooked tombstone pizza.
All right. And then before we get into best artist and best writer, we've got the good, the bad, and the okay, which is where we list 5 titles for each of those categories throughout the year. So I figured we start with the okay.
Yeah, I didn't do five for these. I just kind of was like, well, I think this covers it pretty well. But Godzilla vs. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2, it's basically just fan service. It's fun. It was very okay, you know? Like there's some issues I was like, I love this. Other ones where I'm like, it's okay.
Hmm.
And then the other one, and this will count as five because there's, multiples, but I did the absolute universe as a whole because outside of Wonder Woman, which was pretty cool, but it's also like I'm not, someone that's entrenched in Wonder Woman lore, but like the Batman and then the Superman, I'm like these are okay, but they are not worth 4.99.
All right. For me, I did the Batman title, actually.
Yeah.
Um, I've liked the last couple. But before that, it was a bit of a slog for me personally. So
Yeah.
I think it's just okay.
Yeah. No, I get that because it was like, I mean, at the start of the year, I think they was still doing some fail-safe crap.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Um, I've got Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons 2, Sons of Giants. Pretty sure
Yeah.
that we both agree that that was just okay.
I mean, okay, like I'll say okay at best, r bad at other times.
Um, Another one we read together was Bear Pirate Viking Queen. Like, definitely some neat parts, definitely some
hmm
slow parts. Overall, I think it would be classified as okay. Um, a book that just I read, which was Briar. I was so excited for that to come back after its hiatus, and the way it wrapped up, I was like, that's just okay.
hmm
And then my winner personally is Sensational She-Hulk. Like had a lot of great moments, but a lot of wow, this is nowhere near as good as that first series. So
Yeah.
it's like the best okay book in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I get that too.
All right, and then on to the bad.
So I had two for this because like there was a lot of good, like really good stuff, and there wasn't a lot, like a lot of the bad stuff didn't stick with me. But Joker Year One, that was
Hmm.
bad. It was not enjoyable to read, and it wasn't very good at all. And then making her first appearance, Tamaki's Zatanna. That
Good
book
one.
was fucking rough.
Hmm. All right. I've got Witcher Wild Animals, definitely one of the worst Witcher miniseries, which is such a bummer because I always get excited when those come out. And I actually had Absolute Batman and Absolute Superman on this list.
Really.
I
I didn't know you disliked them that much to be bad.
I just disliked the ideas so much, I
I
think, more
gotcha.
than anything.
Yeah.
Um, I've also got Creature of the Black Lagoon Lives. I know you didn't dislike it, but I thought
Yeah,
those first two issues sucked.
that one could have been in my okay
Hmm.
pile.
And then my personal winner, Zatanna Bring Down the House.
Hell yeah, good job, Smokey.
Yeah, that was just such a bad, bad series.
Yeah.
So bad. All right, and then on to our good, if you can, because I don't want to just reiterate our top lists again. Just if you can pick five for your good for the year, let's do
Well,
that.
I had good, and some of them are different than what was on my other list because, like I said,
Okay.
I didn't see the list, so I kind of did that off the top of my head. But so I put Uncanny X-Men and just regular X-Men in my good pile because I'm like, it's good that I'm reading X-Men because I have like they're one of the most iconic books in comics, and I hadn't been reading them because I'm like, boy, I do not care about island politics for that thing, all
Hmm.
that nonsense. And then the current Turtles comics, I think, and that when I say Turtles comics too, I mean both Jason Aaron's run and then also the Last Ronin sequel series.
Hmm.
And then Long Halloween, which I've just really been enjoying, and Godzilla Skate or Die. I have to add that. And then also, since we were saying just good in general, I put the Marvel covers, that the Godzilla Marvel crossover covers.
Oh,
That was
sure.
just good for this year.
Hmm. Ninja Turtles almost made my personal top 10,
hmm
but as I was looking at all of the stuff we read this year, I read more this year than any other year in my
Damn.
entire life. Um, there were just some other things that just beat it out for my personal
Yeah.
enjoyment. So uh, I've got X-Men, Saga, Daredevil, Dawn Runner, and then the winner of Plastic Man No More.
Right on, man.
All right. So best artist and the book that they worked on.
Right. So I I wanted to give him a mention because he carried the book even though it was shit. But Rodriguez
Hmm.
deserves a lot of just praise for that Zatanna book because the book sucks.
The
It's
only
poorly
reason to pick it
written.
up.
yeah, poorly written, but he did such a good job. I want him to do a book, Doctor Strange book, because it's like he gave me such Ditko vibes when he was doing Doctor Strange, and it's like the same thing. Just awesome. Aaron Cooter on Daredevil was great. Jamal Campbell, that's my personal winner for Superman. Then I also had Alex Lins and Jacob Edgar for Plastic Man because they both of them did such a good job and kind of switched between the two, but it just worked.
Yep, agreed with all those good choices. Um, I've got Dan Mora. I mean, the guy's just a beast. The
Hmm.
most recent thing is Justice League Unlimited, but he's done a bunch this last year. Um, I've got Alessandro Cappuccio from Moon Knight. That was on my list last year, but I mean, seriously, the guy's been consistently putting out fantastic interiors for Moon Knight for a couple of years now. Um, I've got Greg Capullo for Wolverine Revenge. That book might be okay, but the art is fucking awesome in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to see him doing a book again.
Hmm.
I've got Jorge Corona on Ain't No Grave. That book nearly made my top 10 list. I thought it was like a perfect miniseries and ended so well, but the art was killer. And then my winner is Evan Cagle for Dawn Runner and also now New Gods. Dawn Runner was the prettiest book that I read all year.
Right on, man. That New Gods book was pretty dope too.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for I think it's not this week, but next week we get
Yeah.
issue 2 of that and Challengers, and I'm very excited.
All right, though. It's now time to finish up with Best Writer.
Hmm.
Who you got for that, man?
So I've got Saladin Ahmed for Daredevil and Wolverine. I've got Chip Zdarsky for Public Domain. Um, I mean, in any time that book comes out, it's almost always pick of the week. It's just so
Hmm.
good. Jed McKay, he does Moon Knight and X-Men. Rom V for Dawn Runner and New Gods. Batman Dark Patterns, just
Hmm.
whatever he's writing, it's always good.
Right.
And then uh the one I'm putting the most behind, dude, Christopher Cantwell. I mean, that book really did blow me away. Plastic
Hmm.
Man No More. And again, I like the start of Challengers. So
Alrighty, so for me, Joshua Williamson made the list. I mean, he does Superman. I think he did Action Comics this year for a hot minute before they, changed up stuff. And then he did Dark Ride. Just there's too many damn books that he's doing. I don't know when he sleeps. G.I. Joe, the other G.I. Joe related books. Philip Kennedy Johnson, kind of like Josh Williamson, too many to name. Hulk, the Hell Hunters, just all his
also
DC
action.
stuff. Yeah, and so yeah, that Jason Aaron, Turtles, Christopher Cantwell, he deserves some love, and then Saladin Ahmed was my winner for Daredevil and Wolverine. But yeah, I mean, all good.
Yeah, all good. I think uh the two that we both had was Saladin and Cantwell. So congrats, guys. You
Yeah,
guys tied for winner.
I know that you're both listening, but I know Saladin is the only one on Twitter, so you're the only one that's going to get a personal pan pizza
Yep.
coupon.
All right. And there you have it, guys. There's our 2024 wrap up. Congrats to all the winners. You all definitely deserved it. And here's to another great year reading comics with my best bud,
Yeah,
Casey.
yeah, guys. Let's skip Fantastic Four this week, and then
Mhm.
all right. But let us know down below, guys. Who are some of your favorites of this year and least favorites? Get negative up in here.
Yeah. Bring the negativity, the
Yeah,
hatred.
we feed off of it.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed. Again, check out our crossover episode this week as
Mhm.
well. And then, we'll be back next week with another episode. So,
Oh,
mhm.
and if you enjoy unboxing videos, every Wednesday for the next couple weeks, we've got a bunch popping up. So, give them a watch and comment. if you liked them. If you didn't, don't.
Yep. And also something to look forward to as well. Casey and I said that starting this month, we're going to begin our uh, Sony Spider-Verse, uh, you know, watchings. So,
I think this is the official announcement that we're doing that too, because I had said it as a joke, and then you were like, "Love this idea."
mhm. Well, I mean, yeah, we've already had several people reach out saying they want to be a part of it. So,
Yeah.
it'll be fun. So we'll have that later this month as well. And hopefully we can keep making fun content that you guys enjoy. So please keep letting us know what you like or what you don't like so that we
Hmm.
stop doing the stuff you don't like. And yeah, we just appreciate you tuning in every week. It's really cool.
Hell yeah, guys.
So, all right. We'd love to stay in chat, but Casey's got to recruit me for his Mercs for Money group, and I guess we're gonna go kill some people. So we'll catch you next time. See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Two Worlds Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod, on Twitter at two_worlds_PC, and on Facebook at facebook.com/twoworldspodcast. You can email us with any questions or comments at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com, and if you would, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube.